All right, guys. Hey, so recently I had posted something on LinkedIn about how I moved a very small chunk of my portfolio, $200,000 over to an annuity that 19 years from now at age 65 is going to guarantee me 44 some, actually 43 some thousand dollars per year. The trade off is $200,000 today. What we had was, and still have, is these anti annuity rocket scientists. They come on, suggesting that I ripped myself off, that I maybe did not do the analysis beforehand. Me, who's been doing this for 25 years, understands my Monte Carlo, am an investment advisor myself, ripped myself off ahead of time. That's called annuity derangement syndrome right there, to where they just can't learn because they're so biased against annuities. So here I'm going to explain. Here I'm going to explain the Monte Carlo simulation, 5,000 different simulations based off of randomized market scenarios, and how an annuity A helps me increase my income in most situations, and B, yes, helps increase the estate size in most situations. Let me explain. Of course, the anti-annuity geniuses that charge 1% every year into perpetuity are going to say, that's impossible because my fairy dust that I sprinkle on it, and where I'll get my client 15% per year and charge them 1% per year, by you moving $200,000 away from the fairy dust into the annuity, there's no way you can increase the income. There's no way you can make your estate size larger by doing that. Well, let's look at this. This is the Monte Carlo analysis, a pretty well-proven system, a system that the AUM advisors, the game that the AUM advisors play by. Many play by this. I do as an AUM advisor, right? So here's a hypothetical scenario that age-wise resembles mine. The world doesn't need to know about my finances. So all this is hypothetical other than my age, other than the annuity. The end point here is to show the impact of the annuity. So let's say we have, again, my age, a 46-year-old with a spouse who is, how old is my wife? Yeah, is she 49? Holy crap, she's 49. And let's just say hypothetical spending goal. Frankly, we're going to need more money than that at retirement. But in this example, $150,000 per year after taxes in today's dollars. That's the spending goal, which for a portfolio of hypothetically $3 million, putting away, let's say 50,000 per year. So Monte Carlo, the husband, this is his hypothetical portfolio right here. And that's all we're going to run with for now, just to keep it simple. That's set up in a 70-30 portfolio here. We're going to take from this $3 million eventually $200,000, and we're going to show you the impact of this over time. The portfolio after we retire, 70-30, I could move that to a more conservative scenario. It's only going to demonstrate further how the annuity helps. The annuity helps whether it's a 85-15 portfolio, 70-30 portfolio. The geniuses are probably going to look at this video and, well, but my portfolio is this and you ran that. Well, the impact's going to be the same. And frankly, I don't have time to go back and forth. I'm already spending enough time explaining to the world, but I want people to learn, although you're not going to learn if you have a biased viewpoint. You're not. I'm not going to convince you of anything. All right, Social Security. So Social Security, that's going to kick on for the spouse at age 70. Well, one of the spouses age 70, the other spouse age 70. Kind of a similar Social Security scenario to me. I don't know what my Social Security amount I do, but I don't remember it. But let's just say my wife's is less. Mine is whatever, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, whatever it is, right? So at a certain age, we're going to have Social Security kick in. At age 65, I'm also going to be able to layer on an additional amount of portfolio withdrawals. Over my life expectancy, I'm not even taking long life expectancies. Over my life expectancy, we are going to layer on how much in portfolio draws can be taken so that we still have a dollar amount at the end of the road, right? But then what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to what it looks like with the annuity. I might even play with life expectancies a little bit here. So what this says is this. Let's just go to explore options over here so I can make this somewhat bearable here. You're going to see this green box increase. What this says is $160,000 if I wanted to just live crazy At age 65 in my retirement years, I can spend $160,000 after taxes, after inflation, or I should say inflation adjusted, for my lifespan, at least what we have in here as our lifespan. That is me dying at age 83, my wife living till 85. Actually, that's less than life expectancy, which is going to lessen the impact of our annuity in here. However, what happens here, or by the way, let me mention this, if we just spend our dotted line here, which is our $150,000, we're going to have, we spent less than what we could have, right? So what that means is we're going to have an estate. In this example, the estate of 1.1 million. In this example over here, the same, because so far we haven't made any adjustments. The rocket scientists are going to say there's no way an annuity with a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit that effectively has zero value when you pass away, there's no way that can increase the estate size. Of course it can. Because if you're getting a good income stream, it lessens the pressure on what you otherwise would have taken from your securities portfolio, and hence you have a larger estate at the end. So let's look at this. This isn't that hard, actually. So here you have add an annuity. So what we did here is we took $200,000, and the source of funds was that $3 million. So now we only have $2.8 million in there, $200,000. I programmed in the annuity specs here, 6.5% roll up, payout rate 6.03%. And what does that do? This tiny sliver of annuities, what, 8%, 7%, whatever it is, of this hypothetical portfolio, it's able to increase our income by $6,000. Or conversely, if we only spend our $150,000, what does that do to our estate size? What does that do to our estate size? It turns it into a $1.7 million estate instead of $1.144 million estate. Now, that's at the 90th percent confidence level. That's at the 90th percent confidence level. Now, again, the geniuses may say, well, you know, I prefer to roll the dice. I prefer to roll the dice because what I can do is I can actually I can outperform the market, right? Well, only above around the median of those 5,000 different scenarios is staying 100% or keeping out of annuities. Is that the best choice from a number standpoint? And again, this is assuming less than life expectancy here. You can imagine that when I pull out the life expectancies, that actually the annuity is down probably around the 30th or 40th percentile, meaning that in only in the scenarios that the market does the top 30 to 40%, will that market scenario outpace what we are able to get from the annuity. And the anti-annuity geniuses will say, oh, but the future's bright. It's going to be 15% per year, especially with my fairy dust there. By the way, let's do this. Let's pull out the life expectancy here, because that's what this is insurance, right? The worst case scenario. The worst case scenario. If I thought the stock market was going to do the top 5% into the future, and if I really believe that, you can bet I'm not going to be in an annuity, right? But this is insurance against the bad. So let's say that he lives one standard deviation away from life expectancy. Let's call that 90. Let's move her out to 94. Of course, our income is going to drop because we're spreading it out over a period of time. But look at the difference there. Look at the difference in income between not having an annuity and having an annuity over here. So I was actually being fairly, and see what I said earlier? The crossover point is only in the top 40% of scenarios does the market only based scenario turn out better than adding the annuity. Obviously, in both these scenarios, there's not going to be an estate because we still have the target income goal of 150, but yet we're only able to spend 131,000. But you get my point by now. So that's probably not enough data for some of these folks. Hope that makes sense.